Crypto Frog in the area. Gonna get straight into it. Beanstalk got exploited. The Frogster took a hit. Let me just tweet this out. No long intro today. Don't feel like it. Plus, let's just get into it. It's funny because I was going to make a stream on Bean as well before this all went down. You'll probably notice that my Twitter is actually a Bean NFT, which I paid like half an Ethereum for, and now the floor is literally 0.1 for perhaps obvious reasons. We're going to get into it in just a minute. Follow me if you want, CryptoFrog202. Give my tweet a retweet. Helps with the algo and all that shit. So yeah, took a bit of a slamming, but you know, I live to fight another day. Fortunately, I would say no financial advice, but really, if you're in crypto, you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket, isn't it? But yeah, I lost like 5 figures. I know some people got wiped like big style, like for 6 figs, 7 figs. It's crazy. But this is my first radio. I've had my pants pulled down for like 4 or 5 Bitcoin in exchange exit scams back in the day. So this is whatever. Subscribe if you want to chat. And plus, support the channel. Thumbs up for the algo. Together we all get through this as one. If you're a fellow beaner. Nothing racial. Disclaimer: no financial advice. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about. Oh, by the way, support the channel by all my streams are demonetized. Link in the video description below. CryptoFrog Subscribe Star Plus. Link to the greatest TG group known to man, isn't it? So I was looking at Gecko, and oh god, Bean is top trending, and it's top trending for all the wrong reasons. I was convinced that one day in the not too distant future, Bean would be trending on Gecko, but I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be for this particular reason, aka this reason. Bean is supposed to be a stable coin, if you're not aware. Credit-based, decentralized credit-based stablecoin protocol. Not so stable now. It's 21 cents. Reason being that it got exploited on the 17th of April. The Beanstalk Farms team is investigating the attack and charting a path forward. Please check Discord for more information and updates. I'll talk a little bit more about their response to that. And yeah, it sucks. I was actually speaking to some people in the GIGAREKT Subscribe Star thing, because a few of the boys and girls were like deep in it. And I was like, the only thing that I think could potentially go wrong is like an exploit. And literally, I'd only had my money in there for like 2 days. I had like 20,000 in there, and it was pulling in like $600 a day. I was like, fuck, this is good shit. This is good gravy. And I was thinking, this project seems like based and giga-brained and all that shit. But I did comment, and if any of the gigas are in the chat, though, I'll have a look at the chat later on. But let's get into the information. I want to be informative. Yeah, the only problem I could see potentially is like an exploit, and within 48 hours, that is what happened. Anyway, this is a good guy, Igor Aigamabadiv. He's a research director at the Block. He always writes good post-mortems of what goes down in these kind of situations. You can follow him at Frank Researcher. I highly suggest you do. What's his name, that Frank guy? This guy. Side bottom Frank. He's back in the day. Kind of freaked me out when I was a kid. Anyway, so he goes on to say the new popular Beanstalk Farms protocol lost over $181 million in today's exploit, but the attacker only gained $76 million. My heart bleeds for you, attacker who stole my fucking money. Let's figure out what happened next. So he goes on to say that the main protocol contract was completely emptied. Yes, I can say that is true. User funds have been withdrawn, 36 million bean, $36 million, back when it was $1. 0.54 ETH bean, Uni V2 LP tokens, $33 million in ETH and $32 million in bean. I was in the bean3 Kriv pool and fucking got ragged on that, and bean LUSD wrecked. So then he goes on to say the exploit was funded from the Synapse protocol bridge. This was essentially like a flash loan attack, so we think anyway. I mean, there's still a lot of speculation about what's going on. After that, they created the BIP 18 proposal. So if you weren't aware of what Beanstalk was, essentially you could make proposals, and they were known as BIPs. After that, they created the BIP 18 proposal to donate 250,000 bean to Ukraine, which was faked before execution, and he has a screenshot of that being done. I'm not entirely sure how you're able to do that. But then apparently they used a flash loan. This is absolutely ridiculous sums of money. They used a flash loan to get 350 million DAI, $500 million in USDC, and $150 million USDT from Aave, 32 million bean from Uniswap V2, and some LUSD from SushiSwap. These tokens were used to add liquidity to curve pools with bean for the governance voting. Look at that. I think because just the sheer sum of money that just flowed in, they could get that thing voted on. Furthermore, they deployed and voted for a fake BIP that moved all funds from the protocol contract to the exploiter. The next step was removing liquidity, repaying flash loans, and converting all received funds into 24,200 wrapped Ethereum, which went to Tornado Cash. It was going out in 100 ETH pieces. Absolutely sick. I mean, the level of complexity in this attack, it was kind of ridiculous. Update: the exploiter initially was funded from Tornado Cash, sent ETH through Synapse to Arbitrarium, and then withdrew clean funds to Ethereum. So he did this all with a total of about 100 Ethereum to his name. All right, and then we have Peck Shield. One question I have is this Omnisikia audit was done on the end of March. Why didn't they catch this shit? In my mind, like either QuantStamp or Peck Shield, you should have both those. Who cares if you have to pay a fucking shitload of money? They're the best ones in the business. QuantStamp and Peck Shield. Fuck all the rest of them. So Peck Shield was straight in the case, saying exploited in a flurry of ticks. You can find the links here. I really don't want to look at them. The hack was made possible due to the flash loan assisted immediate pass of thing, which was submitted 1 day ago. Leads to the craft code execution with the governance privilege to drain the pool fund. Absolutely ridiculous how this was overseen by the supposed auditor of fucking Bean. Ridiculous. So this was like retardedly thought out. I'm not entirely sure what the whole Ukraine crypto donation had to do with it. I think that was only just a ruse to get it on. But how can it be that a proposal for a BIP, BIP, whatever you want to call it, something that the DAO wants to do can lead to the exploitation of the entire protocol. It's fucking wrecked. Anyway, the initial funds to launch the hack were from within Synapse protocol, and most of the result gains were deposited into Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash can suck a dick. Currently 15,100. By the way, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and chat. Their town hall was excellent, says Breezy. I'm aping the moment they relaunch. Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about their response to this in a minute, and then they have something on it. And looking at just the Bean hashtag on Twitter, so DeFi Moon says, unpopular opinion, flash loans have been a huge negative for DeFi. I don't think that's unpopular opinion at all. I think it's definitely very popular opinion. Billions of dollars have been lost in exploits that are possible to pull off without flash loans. I'm pretty sure the monetary benefits users receive from flash loan enabled services don't even come close. Yeah, and I'm so fucking pissed off with Ave for hosting this shit. It's fucking bullshit. Calculator guy lost like a quarter of his net worth, saying he overinvested in Bean. Most of the best DeFi traders I know were hit by this Bean exploit. Small cap scientist, calculator guy, crypto frog, goddamn right, and a bunch of Giga legends, including the guy who turned it on to us, Harvey Birdman, in the GigaLedge Telegram group. He got slammed pretty badly. The thing is, I had no idea they were in it because it was so complex that Twitter was silent about it. It was a genius protocol. I'm sure the exploit could have been much worse if they'd ever discussed it. Yeah, I was keeping it pretty close to my chest, I must say. This guy lost 150k in Bean. Ask me anything, he's probably getting ragged on. I've lost a lot of money in multiple DeFi exploit. It changed me. If you suffered from Bean exploit today, I'm sorry. I was lucky enough not to play this time, but I get your pain. I have 5 tips for you. It won't help you get your money back, but maybe it will, but won't be helpful. I got one tip for you. Don't put all your beans in one basket. Yeah, there's a lot of slime bags. Apparently, Degen Spartan, I heard through the grapevine that he was balls deep in Bean money too. Now, he might be just having a laugh and shit like that, but I think he must have got fucking slammed, like wrecked. But I mean, he's a big dick player, so hopefully he's not completely wrecked. And Multi-Chain Maximus says there's a special place in hell for smug reply guys on Bean posts from 12 hours ago. I wasn't unfortunately in. I'm telling you, it's like karma, baby. It's definitely like karma. People, what goes around comes around. A lot of people don't know this in this game, and I am certainly a big believer in that. So let's talk a little bit more about. There was a big Ask Me Anything voice chat in the Beanstalk Discord. Initially, there were a lot of accusations thrown around that it was an inside job, etc., etc., etc. I personally don't know what's going on, but as a result of what happened, they basically came out, had this 2-3 hour long voice chat. The guys behind the project actually doxed themselves, which they didn't have to do, but they did it. They said, they claim, I say we claim because we don't know the full story, they had nothing to do with the recent attack. They had no involvement in it, no prior knowledge of what was going to happen. They don't know who was behind the attack. They also say they lost a bunch of money in the silo and other deposit assets they had in their own protocol. Now, apparently, they have contacted the FBI and plan to hopefully have the FBI look into it. So if you're one of the attackers and you hear that, hope the feds find your ass, unless you repay all the money to Beanstalk, in which case maybe you'll get off with just 3 years picking up the soap for T-Bone and I don't know, some other dude in the shower instead of like 25 years. So maybe, or maybe they'll even put you up in like a white collar prison. You can hang out with I don't know. Are there even any like rich people in prison, famous people anymore? You probably just walk around like the white collar prison. As long as you give all the money back, all of it. If you give 90% of it back, fucking throw the key away. As far as I am concerned. So they basically go through and show what I just showed you about, like how they were attacked. And then what else did they say? So yeah, they said that it all took place because these flash loans totaling $1 billion from Ave. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. All the money was stolen, and they used the ownership privileges of the smart contract to pause Beanstalk and turn off governance. They informed the community. There was still a bit of a period where they weren't really communicating too much. They were probably in shock too. If what they say actually happened and they lost an absolute shit ton of money, they're probably picking their jaws up off the floor and thinking, fuck. Now they've had different calls with different things working with Beanstalk to evaluate what they're going to do next, and they continue to evaluate what they're going to do next and how to keep Beanstalk going in the near future. And they say they've been working really hard on this protocol for like going on 9-10 months, so they're obviously devastated and poured all their time, blood, sweat and tears and all that kind of shit. And they believe that potentially there may be a way forward. Now, am I convinced that we are going to get our money back? I wouldn't say so, even though there is a bit of optimism within the Beanstalk Discord that potentially that might happen. But what I would say is, this just proves, I mean, this literally not a month goes by without one of these exploits of DeFi projects. And I was just actually in the I really don't want to jinx it, but I was just recently in the Trans Chess, which is Binance Smart Chain project. And they're always saying like their first focus. People are always like, why are you so fucking slow doing shit? They're like, security. And after falling foul of this, I mean, not to a huge degree, I mean, I'm already over it basically. But then you just think, yeah, that should always be the first thing. But don't concentrate about like pushing shit out too fast. Just make sure everything is as secure as can possibly be. And I mean, Trans Chess, I'm not shilling Trans Chess because I mean, it is like pain holding that. But it's like everything is very slow, but every 3 months they have all their contracts re-gone through by Quantstamp. Every 3 months or even 2 months. Every time they release a new part of the Trans Chess protocol, it's all the contracts are like fully audited by Quantstamp, which are, in my opinion, the best auditors in the game. Now, like I say, I think there was a degree of optimism among the Bean community after the voice chat. But I think any recovery is going to be a long process. I don't think it's going to be an overnight thing. Potentially, we might get a degree of our funds back. You never know. The FBI might find out who these hackers are. But, you know, the FBI don't give a shit about fucking DeFi fucking hacks. Probably just picked up the phone, left. Right, you're fucking idiots. Putting your money in something called Beanstalk. but they're all normies, so what do you expect? But I think there is a degree the fact that the team. I was very surprised to hear that the guys behind Bean had like doxed themselves. I mean, I regardless. I mean, you expect some kind of response, but you don't expect them to have to dox themselves. The whole point of being a DeFi project is that you can be completely anonymous. But to be honest, I kind of feel sorry for them. But then again, I mean, this wouldn't have happened if they would have been better protected. Yes, I don't know what to say, but it's kind of really disappointing because Bean was terribly exciting, and I just feel sorry for people who lost a lot more than me, and I would just say, no matter how good you think the returns are on something, don't go putting all your eggs in one basket. It's like, that's just like the road to getting wrecked. And as I said before, when I was speaking to the Giga Legends in the Subscribe Star, feel free to sign up. $50 a month might go some way towards repairing my finances. The thing is, I get the feeling that some people were just way over invested in it because it did seem very giga-brained. And I did say, now, it did seem a little bit too good to be true, but that was just the way the protocol was set up. I mean, a lot of people in the know were thinking like, fuck, this is going to run like to $1 billion market cap. It's going to run to a $2 billion market cap, multi-tens of $1 million market cap. And we were all like giggling among ourselves, like how much fucking money we're going to make. And then, boom. But yeah. I mean, if you're going to enter like any DeFi project, and no matter how tempting it is to throw like the kitchen sink at something, just don't do it. That's my opinion. Breezy said the town hall was excellent. I'm aping the moment they relaunch. When cow bottom? I don't know, sir. These hacks are bear market stuff. In my opinion, we're in good hands with team and community. Lots of bright minds. Yeah, it's definitely true. And I didn't really feel like listening to the voice chat, but apparently it went fairly well. Everyone was reasonably respectful to one another, and shit happens. But then again, I wish well, this is what I wish. I wish security is like constantly monitored. I wish that they would all get audited up the ass, because when you have like $100 million sloshing around in your protocol, and people essentially in some cases have well overextended themselves in your protocol, your first priority to your investors is to be like, Peck Shield, how much for a full and complete audit? Quant Stamp, how much for a full, deep fucking audit? Put us right to the front of the queue, we'll pay it. Peck Shield, same to you, we'll pay it. I don't know much about this ODYESEE audit, but it appears to say that they think that overall, so ODYESEE said the code base has been developed to a high standard, although it's relatively lackluster inline documentation, which we urge the Beanstalk team to enhance. In addition to the security vulnerabilities within the report, we performed an extensive gas... Oh, thank you for the gas optimization. We appreciate that. The Beanstalk team proceeded with applying remediations to all findings in private code base that we reviewed, and consequently a proof emerged with the public. The code base of the Beanstalk team can be considered a very high standard, and no outstanding issues remain within the code base. Wow. Wow. I get a feeling they're going to regret fucking doing that, saying that. Let's have a look what this ODYESEE. ODYESEE. I mean, they got audited by a company that joined Twitter 1 year ago and has 1,000 followers. Read our post-mortem analysis of the Beanstalk exploit. Key takeaways: security audit limitations. So they're trying to cover their ass. We believe there's a need to educate and inform non-technical market participants about the status, scope and limitations of technical audits. Our team is currently working on multiple initiatives on demystifying audits. Blah blah blah. Just trying to cover your ass. So basically they've just posted a post-mortem. I mean, for all we know, it could have been allegedly... I mean, it's not out of the question that maybe the auditors themselves may have been behind it, but I'm not pointing any fingers. Sumanik Zen: centralized oversight and constant auditing along with doxing is somewhat needed in the future, in my opinion, but slow market overall down, double-edged sword. Well, I don't think the wow, it's dumping like even more now. I don't see why heads of decentralized protocols should dox themselves at all. But then when you have like 9 figures US dollars in your protocol, and presumably you're earning a nice buck, security should be the first thing, and not with some shitty audit company that came out a year ago with 1,000 followers on Twitter. Should be with PeckShield or QuantStamp. I don't think I'd even look past. I don't think I'd even consider any of the others. I think they're all garbage. I mean, all this kind of CertiK audit bullshit, fucking ODYESEE probably going to wind up their business right now. Say, fuck that shit, we've had enough. Anyway, once again, I mean, what can we say? I got burned. A lot of people I know got burned. It's fortunate, really, because a couple of my in real life buddies were like asking me to make a stream on Bean because they were keen to get in, and I said, all right, I'll consider it, but don't jump in until you're absolutely positive you're comfortable. And fortunately, they never did before the shit went down. But at least I have my Bean NFT, which I paid half an Ethereum for. Current floor price is descending by the second. Yeah, so it's I've lost 80% of my Bean NFT. So scoop up the floor if you really want. All right, well, I suppose I've got nothing else to say on the matter apart from shitty day all round for Bean. Will it come back? I don't know. Hopefully. But this has got to be like the biggest hack in quite a while. And I think it would be... some people should be like pressing Ave to ditch this flash loan business. If someone can take a flash loan out for $1 billion, that is absolutely ridiculous. What is the purpose of that? The only purpose of that is to exploit and steal money. So that's what I reckon to that. Not too much of a long stream today. I know people like to keep it short. Plus, become a subscriber. That would be greatly appreciated, since this channel is not monetized. And if you're not a subscriber, please think about subscribing. Thumbs up the algorithm. And disclaimer: if you're playing around with DeFi projects, don't put your meat and two veg fully deep into the protocol. Peace out.